Hey you guys, I just wanted to remind you, I really believe in not putting anyone on a pedestal, including me. Do not put me on a pedestal. I am just a flawed human being like everybody else, just trying, to work my way through life. And I'm thinking of that because someone left a comment on my I want to do laser video that she had been talking to her friends about me, how I was going all natural, and she was so inspired by that. And I have the right to change my mind. I'm not perfect. And if you're inspired by that message, keep that message for yourself. You be the one that doesn't do it. I also was thinking a lot about, I've been talking a lot about the guy entrepreneurs in cars, and I really thought that he was onto something, but as my coach reminded me, is that he's doing everything based from his experience. And with all due respect to him, I just want to disagree with some things that he says without, disparaging him because he has made a life for himself that he's happy with. But I just want to point out some things that maybe aren't as great as they seem. Is that I've never heard him say his part in his divorce, the part that he played. And I don't agree that women with high notch counts are and single moms are red flags to avoid. I have a freaking high notch count. I've Before I got married, I had sex with hundreds of men. I was an escort, but I never cheated once in my marriage. I didn't want to. I didn't want the drama, and I was sexually dissatisfied. Um, in my life, out of all the boyfriends I had, I did cheat on a guy one time, and I have no regrets on that particular situation. And I think I write about that in my book. So high notch count has nothing to do with fidelity. And I also think that single moms are important to date. There are many single moms who got remarried to really wonderful guys. And I mean, there are some difficulties with it sometimes, but if people are divorced and dating, they're going to have children along. And I think children are a great gift and very precious. I also know that in reading his book, it does seem to me that he is in a relationship with a woman who's 10 years younger, so great for him. And he does believe that a man should be able to have sex with many women because an alpha man will attract many women, but that a woman shouldn't do the same thing. So I'm assuming, I don't know if I'm right, that he's in a relationship with this woman where he can sleep with other women and she can't sleep with other men. And she probably doesn't want to, and that's common and that's fine if that's their agreement. But he also does mention that they don't live together. He's in a long-term relationship with the woman, but they're not cohabiting. And he doesn't want to cohabit because he had a very bad experience in his divorce that his ex-wife got more than he thought she should get. I don't know all the details, but he doesn't ever want that to happen again. So I don't know if that means that this woman in her 30s will never. I mean, if I were dating a guy who told me, listen, you can't live with me. I'm never going to marry you. I'm only dating you because you have no kids. And I get to fuck other women on the side. Hey, if he can get that, good for him. Um, I just, I just don't know that I would like a deal like that. And yeah, so, but good for him that he got it. So I'm not going to judge it or criticize it, but it's just a little bit different. And so I guess I would say that there are women who are just very devoted to their men who will put up with a lot of stuff. And maybe they're from a European background or a little bit codependent, or I don't know. It doesn't seem like a fair arrangement to me, especially because he says that she's really good with his daughter. And if I were involved in a man's life like that, I would expect to have a lot better treatment. So that's just my take on it. There are other people I used to follow. I followed a lot of coaches. I thought they were really great, but then I felt like I outgrew them and I moved on. Um, Sometimes I follow people for a while and then I get bored with them. I look for someone else to follow. And I think a lot of the coaches that I followed, they would, it seemed like a lot of the coaches that I follow had very abusive and traumatic childhoods. I would say that's one thing they had in common is traumatic childhoods. They were raised by narcissists, married to narcissists. I'm trying to get some good lighting here. And I want to have my Christmas tree in the video. And I wasn't abused. I didn't have a traumatic childhood. My ex-husband was a really good guy. I've never had a man abuse me. I've never been in a relationship with a narcissist. The only time I ever had a guy cheat on me was a guy I casually dated, and I surprised him at his house, and his ex-girlfriend opened the door and they invited me in, and I stayed and had dinner with them, and it was fine. That's the only time a guy ever cheated on me. I've never had one time I had a guy hit me. Actually, that was my ex-husband when we were first dating, and he was really drunk and he hit me once. He slapped me, but he never hit me again after that. So I would say that men have treated me really well, so I don't relate to all those coaches who have trauma because I have difficulty with some things and I don't have any trauma. I think that all humans have difficulty. So I don't really have like a guru or anything that I follow. Even Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the founder of Transcendental Meditation, my mom always held him up on a pedestal as enlightened. But then word came out, I don't know if he cheated on his taxes or he was having sex with younger women, and I don't really care because I love my TM practice. But again, he isn't perfect. And look at Amarji. She hugs all these people all day long, but she's fat. She's clearly out of shape, and she has some kind of eating problem. So, and Maharishi too is fat. It's not lean. They have some kind of eating problem or something. They're not perfect. There is nobody perfect. AA tries to make you think they're perfect. They know everything. They don't. Even the Bible isn't perfect. It's a fucking book. That's what I want to say about the Bible. Anyone believing in the Bible is brainwashed to believe in a book. It's a book, you guys, okay? You don't know that it's true. You believe it's true because people told you. You were brainwashed to believe it's true. Maybe it's all a lie. Maybe some of it is true. Do snakes really talk? Was God vindictive or was he loving? And if God is, here's the thing. If God is really all powerful, if God is omnipotent and omniscient, so God is everything, beyond everything. But then why is God only a male? He doesn't have the feminine form, so he's not complete. He's just a part of a spirit. A spirit doesn't have a sex. Or if it's a man, it also has to be a woman. So that part doesn't make sense. And if God is all loving, why does he get so offended if you believe in another God or pray to another God? He has less capacity for love than I do for my children. And believe me, I'm really flawed. I don't get mad when my kids want to play with someone else. So that's another example. And God is so vindictive. You don't do what he wants, he's going to punish you. That's not even a good parent. A good parent teaches a child without punishment. You don't have to punish a child. And I'm just a human. There are probably more things I'm not thinking of right now. He's very jealous. You can't have any other gods. He gets his feeling easily hurt. He needs your constant devotion or he gets very jealous. And it's a he, it's not a she or a spirit, because it was written by people. The Bible is a book written by people who made up a story. Maybe there was a Jesus. If there was a Jesus, they could have rewritten it. And, there's no reincarnation in there or meditation or anything that's really meaningful. So I take the Bible with a grain of salt. I know Eckhart Tolle quotes the Bible, and he can if he wants, but to me, the Bible has done more damage and been the cause of more wars and the cause of more bad fucking in marriages. So I think we would be better off without the Bible or the religious texts, because people read the texts and they cling to the ideas and being right, and they make divisions about it rather than actually being loving. And I think it's because the texts are written by fallen people. In fact, it used to be that the religion and the politics were mixed. So before separation of church and state were one. So if you wanted to control the people, you would just change what's in the Bible and tell people what to do as a way to control them. And if you do believe the Bible word for word, you wouldn't be eating shellfish, and you would not be eating any garments made of more than one type of cloth. So anyone saying the Bible is word for word, to me, is just a hypocrite. Again, putting the Bible on a pedestal, putting anyone on a pedestal, I don't think is useful. Don't put me on a pedestal. Don't put the Bible on a pedestal. I think it's important to ask questions, think for yourself, and question anyone who says that they're the fucking authority. What I'm trying to do here with you guys is share my inspirations in real time, offer coaching if you think I can help you, because I do have some techniques that really help people in questioning their thoughts. Like I like Byron Katie's method on questioning your thoughts. I like John Wellwood and Eckhart Tolle's methods on being with the feelings in your body. And those are techniques that can be applied to anyone. I mean, that's really all I've got, you guys. And I know how to listen and offer people a space just to be heard. Sometimes people make a lot of progress just by listening. By being heard, just by talking. And I follow this really cool guy, and he's now on a pedestal, Daniel Mackler, a former psychotherapist from New York. And I listened to one of his videos the other day about suicide. See, when I have people talk to me about suicide or someone wanting suicide, I don't freak out or call 911. I don't have to, because I'm not a therapist. But what a lot of therapists do is they get all freaked out and call 911, and then the people are now hospitalized and things are worse, and then they do kill themselves. Whereas Daniel Mackler says when he would just listen to the people, and if they were upset, he would offer to have them come in twice a day or 2 or 3 times a week and just build that bond so that they had a connection. And after a few weeks, they were like, I don't even need therapy anymore, and I feel so much better. And they never killed themselves. I think it's healthy for people to question whether they want to live. There were times I questioned whether I wanted to live. I think that's healthy. I think we should be able to discuss that without people labeling us as crazy or suicidal, And so what if we did? So what if someone kills themselves? I was like, so what? It's not such a big deal. Let people do it if they want, in my opinion, unless they have small children they're raising. But it's an existential question. Like, what is my life for? And sometimes, when I was raising my kids and they were little, it was very clear what my life was for. Like, I knew I wanted to live to be a mother to my children who needed me. But once I was all alone here in this apartment with no husband, no children, and living all alone, that sucked. And I hated my job. And I'm like, what the fuck is this life for? I'm all alone. I really wanted to fuck. I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted a relationship. I wanted people in my house. I didn't have anyone in my house. And I just didn't want random roommates. I'm like, what is my life for? Why am I here? And I spent 2 years looking for my purpose. And then finally I wrote that book, The Fuck List. And that kind of got me going. But then I think it was a couple years ago, I was really bored. And then I started my coaching business. And then I remember a conversation I had with one of my kids a couple years ago when I was at that point again, like, what is my life even for? Like, why am I here? And he said to me, "Are you depressed, Mom?" And I was thinking about it, and somehow that gave me some kind of space, like it was maybe okay. And it just kind of released all that. I've never been depressed. I've never had depression. But I have thought, what is my life for? Like, it just doesn't have any meaning to it. I think what really helps me a lot now is I get out of the house every day for training. Like today, I did my boot camp at the beach. I love getting up early to exercise. That really gets my day going right. I meditate. That really helps. And like making these videos really helps. I feel I have someone to talk to. I like to have someone to talk to, and now I'm talking to myself and the camera and to you guys. And at night I have family members I'll talk to or I'll text with. And I do have a really bad habit of checking my phone a lot to see if there's something going on somewhere. So that's something that's not so good. I also want to say, just in closing on that Richard Cooper, I don't mean to say bad things about him. I think he has a lot to offer, telling men to pursue excellence. He has really good ideas like take a cold shower, be the best version of yourself, move your body. I think these things are all really good, but he's not perfect. I think he has some insecurity and hurt about his wife leaving him. I don't know why she left him. I don't know why these women cheated on him and why he picked women who cheated on him. I don't know. I don't know any of that. So I just think that we can't put anyone on a pedestal. Nobody deserves being on a pedestal. Nobody. And everybody farts. People pick their noses. People's shit stinks. And people can get annoying. If you live with me, I would get on your nerves. I would get annoying because I would get annoyed with you and I would say stuff and then you would get annoyed with me. I don't like being around people for very long. I like a lot of quiet time. I like things just so. I do not like the TV on. I do not like meat cooked in my house. I like people who work out. I like it to be clean. And I have things, I don't want pets. I'm not an animal person at all. And I'm kind of demanding in bed. You got to bring it on or I'm going to be bored. I know some older men like me. I don't like older men at all, except as clients. My personal preference is I like men much younger than me. I like them in their early 40s or mid 40s or younger, which means I'll probably be perpetually single because those guys probably like younger women. I don't know. I'm demanding in bed. I like my cocks hard. I like guys who want to fuck often and who are hard and who are interesting and exciting in bed and not needy. I'm very turned off by neediness and I'm very turned off by men who are avoidant. Like, I'm just picky with men. I think that I get along pretty well with women, though. I get along well with my family. Everyone in my family loves me, even though they don't like that I'm an escort necessarily. So I think I'm pretty easygoing, and I don't think all women are bitches. I know there are a lot of women who, when they get divorced, are not bitches. Women with high notch counts are not necessarily cheaters. I'm not a cheater. Why am I not a cheater? I fucked thousands of men. If I were in a relationship again, I have no doubt I would be monogamous. I do not look for validation from men. I don't flaunt my body to get men. That's why I'm not on Instagram. That's why no men can slide into my DMs. I don't want thirsty beta males, as they called, circling around, telling me I'm beautiful. That does nothing for me. And I don't want the drama of cheating. I like a very calm, peaceful life. And I just don't see what would be the point of cheating. Like, that just sounds like a fucking drama mess to me. So, um, what else do I want to say on this video? Tonight I made dinner. My cooking sucks. That's another thing. My cooking fucking sucks. Okay, I made a video the other day. I had like a good cooking day, and I do make a good black bean soup, but I'm not a cook. I don't cook meat at all. I don't know how to grill. I do not know what to do with a steak or how to cook fish. And my dinner tonight is fucking lame. I'm going to show you guys my dinner. So you know, don't put me on a pedestal because you will never have a good meal here. Never, never, never. I'll show you what I made. Now, I do make really good salads, okay? I'm going to say I make kick-ass salads. So here's a salad I made. This should be pretty good. And then I'm trying to use up these vegetables from my farm box. So there's the yellow squash, the green pepper, the hot pepper, and the potatoes, but it has no freaking flavor. So this morning I went to Bird Rock Coffee and I bought the radish avocado sandwich, and I also got an egg burrito. This sandwich was so good. I was like moaning while I ate it. I don't know how to cook like that. I don't. And I don't want to cook. But I do it. I used to cook more when my kids were little, but I do not like to cook. I rather just order something and have somebody cook for me. And ideally, I would have like a servant that cooked for me. I wouldn't call him or her a servant. But I do. I think of them as servants that would cook for me. I'm a little bit entitled that way. I just remember as a little girl, my grandparents had a live-in housekeeper, and she did all the cooking and all the cleaning. And I was just so in awe of that as a little girl. Like, that was so awesome. And she was really sweet to us too. And that kind of stuck with me. Like having a live-in cook, but that I wouldn't have to deal with. And also, when I was little growing up, the men were always in the living room having interesting conversations while the women were in the kitchen cooking. Cooking, while I was growing up, cooking was a powerless position for servants. Put it that way. That might have colored my perception of cooking and why I don't like to do it. But I know now that men love to cook. Most men love to cook, and many women like to cook. I would rather read. I do like to clean. I will clean. I will read. I will exercise. I wash the windows. I do clean my toilets almost every day. But I don't like to cook. So I don't think I would make a good wife. I always have a saying. I'm going to end my video with my saying. A man who says a woman's place is in the kitchen just doesn't know what to do with her in the bedroom. But, actually, let me go on. I think some men like a woman who cooks and likes to fuck. But I think that is not always guaranteed. So if you have the choice of the cooking or the fucking, with me, you would get the fucking, but only if you're good in bed. I am very demanding in the bedroom. Like I said, I don't like limp dicks. I get bored easily. And I want a man who brings me something new and brings it on. And this video is not, again, directed at escort clients, because with my escort clients, I don't care how soft they are, how exciting they are, because it's a business. I'm talking about my personal life here. So if you're an escort client watching this, do not write me off quite yet. But my personal life is different than my work life, and I am demanding. So I'm not that easygoing. I have high standards and I'm demanding, and that's it. Don't put me on a pedestal. That's it. That's all I want to say. I am not worthy of it. because I will disappoint you. And I hope I already have, because I do not want to be on anyone's pedestal. That is unfair, and it's not accurate, and it's a lot of fucking pressure, and you will be disappointed. Yeah, you will be disappointed, because there is no human being that is perfect, that lives up to our imagination of how great they are, and that can meet all of our needs. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So that's all I have. That's all I have. And if you thought this video was boring, then that's good, because I just came down off your pedestal. But if you liked it, hit the subscribe button, because what I really want to do too is I want to see if I really want to be a coach. I want to do some more coaching and have people book coaching calls with me and see how effective I still am, and if this is something I really want to do, because right now I don't know. I love being an escort, and I don't know if I love being a coach. I honestly don't know. It's not that much money. I have to listen to people talk. I don't get to talk. And usually people just book one call and that's it. They're like, I'm good. I don't get to really work with people for long periods of time. That often, not that often. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm supposed to find a niche. I don't want to have a fucking niche. I'm supposed to have like a target avatar, like the woman I want to talk to. But usually I just talk to men, because I work with men all the time. I don't know who my avatar is. Women who chase unavailable men. And I don't want to tell people what to do. And I don't want to sound like some high-flying authority, because I don't know everything. You know, like I told you what I do. I help people struggling with their emotions, and help people break through their limited thoughts just using those Byron Katie techniques. That's as good as any of the stuff in the neuro-linguistic programming. That's another thing. I spent $8,000 with an NLP coach a couple years ago. I don't think I'm that much better off. I really don't. I mean, I kept trying all these things to figure out what was wrong with me. There's nothing fucking wrong with me. I kept thinking, why can't I find a guy to date? I thought it would be so easy. It's not easy to find someone to date. I think most men, I'm going to rant here, are too fat and too boring. And that's why they have found on studies that on online dating, the top 20% of men, the 8s, 9s, and 10s, are sought after by 80% of the women. A woman from a 3 to a 10, 80% of women are going after this 20%, including me. And the 80% of these guys are stuck with the low tier 0, 1, and 2 women. So I want a guy who's hot, fit, dresses well, has something exciting going on, is educated, intelligent, successful, has money, has social status, is exciting, charismatic. I don't know anyone like that. So why would I want a guy? And I wanted to rock my freaking world in bed. And that's going to have to be a guy under the age of 50 for sure. So I'm not going to get a guy. I pretty much resigned myself to that. Nothing wrong with me. I think what's wrong with men is they have let themselves go by having sedentary jobs and sitting around and not taking care of their appearance. They think that all they have to do is work. You got to look good, brother. You got, like Rich Cooper says, I'm going to give him some credit, you got to pick shit up and put stuff down. Fix your clothes. Doesn't take a lot of money. Just wear something a little more fitted. I've seen so many good-looking guys in these very loose-fitting shirts. Don't wear those white tennis shoes. Get a good pair of shoes. I've seen good-looking guys with big shirts and wearing those tennis shoes. Ditch the tennis shoes. If you're not playing tennis, don't wear the tennis shoes. Get some stylish shoes. Wear some tight jeans. Wear something fitted. Lift stuff. That's it. That's all I've got for tonight.